Sorry,
No, thank
interrupted
you,
the flow.
So, do you think the core issue you have here is more of a judgmental problem, or more of I want to be showing the world how smart I am?
I feel like it's both.
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like I have a really bad case of imposter syndrome, so like, even like, I don't deserve this. Like, I don't deserve to be here. Like, why am I like? Why am like?
Yeah.
I think it stems back to like not being placed in those advanced classes from the start. Like, I'm not supposed to be here.
Okay.
I feel like that pretty much all across the board in my life. Like, even with friends, I'm like, why do you actually like me? Like, so I kind of like hang on to like the characteristics I have. Like, I like to think that like the independence and the intelligence are kind of interconnected, because I'm like, if I have myself, then I'm set. But I do realize that is not particularly the case.
So do you feel that like showcasing your intelligence is like your small way of getting over this, your imposter syndrome? Like, I'm not an imposter, this is why, type of thing.
Yeah, I feel like whenever I get an A, I get really happy and I like show it off, like, and like, here's my grade. But I feel like that recognition is something that I never really had. I feel like throughout like even growing up, I was always like working really, really hard, and a lot of times it seems like I work really, really hard for no avail.
Okay. So, moving into more of a social setting, we are talking about transactional flaws here. What do you think is the detriment? You mentioned judging people earlier, but do you think there's anything more than that? Or
I feel like it could, like, I'm not sure exactly why I have so few friends, but that definitely could be a factor. I also feel like even in like group settings, like, I feel like I have to be the one who does everything, even if, like, there's just like two levels to like group projects. Like, one is like people just don't do their crap, and then the other one is like I just do it anyway because I feel like I can do better. Like, last year I had a group project and I'm like, I don't even know why I have them do it, because they don't do it in time, and I do it better anyway, and I just have to end up and go and redo it instead of like maybe trying to help other people. So I feel like I know more, and I want everyone to know it, and I want to prove that I am there.
Did you notice anything like this during your internships? Or?
I mostly interact with my immediate boss,
and
so he's smarter than me. He's also more experienced, so it was really easy for me to get along with him and like feel like I don't know anything, but I definitely did feel like I knew more than some of the people that were above me. Like, even people who were managers. I'm like, you're so dumb. Listen to me. Like, you just need to do what I think, because you're not thinking. It's different from like discounting other people's ideas when I feel like they have an idea. Like, I'm totally fine. Like, if you're like, I think this and this is why, I'll be like, okay, I think this and this is why. But like, just when they're like, just do it, and I'm just like, you need to think.
How do you deal with that, like in a professional setting, like in a professional way? You have your superior who you think you have a better perspective on, but he's ultimately you serve to do what they say.
I bit my tongue because I knew there was no way I would be able to convince them otherwise. I was to them just an intern. To my immediate boss, I was like an actual person, but to everyone else, I was just an intern, and that was really hard to deal with. And it's really hard to deal, and that really, I think, perpetuated my feelings of not being good enough. Because I felt like no matter what I said, it was like that didn't really matter, and I feel like a lot of that is from this idea of like intelligence.
Okay, so you're in an unfortunate situation in your workplace here, and you just have to bite your tongue. What do you wish would have happened? What do you hope would be the outcome? Where you're not biting your tongue, you're doing X instead.
I feel like I'm doing something that gets a response. So, feeling like I'm important. I have like part of my whole problem is like this power dynamic. So I feel like the smarter I am, the more power I hold, but in all actuality, that's not the case. So I wish I would have had the power to do something, but I realized that no matter how smart I was, didn't really matter.
So like, and that ties back into your personal identity we were talking about earlier, because of when your core identity is you feel like it doesn't have power. Do you think what negative effects do you think that's going to have on you?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of it is like personal, and a lot of it is social. Like, the personal part of it, I always feel like I'm not smart enough, I'm not powerful enough, I'm not XYZ enough, and then I feel like that does translate into relationships, like I tend to be black and white with relationships, so like either I like you or I don't, and like
Yeah.
I have a really hard time kind of fostering that relationship, and I feel like part of it is because I feel like I'm smarter than some people. I do think that comes off.
Have you taken any steps to try to counteract that, or?
I try to be relatable. And like a lot of times, especially like moving into college, like I am dealing with smarter people, so it's become less of a problem. But I definitely feel like a step that I could take is kind of, you see, the problem is I don't know what steps to take. It's kind of like an innate problem, so yeah.
You guys are at 10 if you want to stop.
Okay.